So this fight is taking place this weekend on UFC 270, a super exciting fight, and it's going to be interesting to see how these two match up. Obviously, Francis Ngannou with the insane knockout power, the highest recorded punch, and I mean, just such a dangerous fighter. If he just lands one shot on anyone, I mean, you saw his like last 5 fights have lasted a combined of like I think it's like 7 minutes, and 6 of that is from Stipe. So I
Yeah.
mean, like it's just unreal how dangerous this guy is, and I mean, if he's able to land a shot on Gane, especially early in the fight, it would automatically be trouble. But Gane is such a technical fighter, and he's a fighter who's hit and not get hit. He doesn't let a lot of guys be able to hit him, and it's gonna be interesting to see if he's gonna be able to do that against Ngannou because Ngannou's a brute force kind of approach.
You got a computer in Ciryl Gane where he's got the whole game. He's got submission game, he's got ground game, he's got the Muay Thai, a fantastic Muay Thai with amazing kicks, amazing punching. He's got great punching as well, amazing technique there. He seems to have power. I think his power is actually very underrated.
Yeah, because everyone has power at heavyweights. I mean, anyone could really knock out anyone. I mean, everyone's dangerous, and this guy's 240 pounds of pure like beast, like athleticism, and you can never count out Francis Ngannou. He's been putting on such statements with his latest fights, and if he's able to beat Gane, that would definitely put on a statement on his career. And I mean, with all the controversy that's going around Francis Ngannou, I feel like he really needs this win to really just cement everything that he's been doing in the last couple of months.
Yeah, you gotta wonder with all these his money dispute and him wanting to go into boxing, you gotta think whether or not that plays a toll into his mental side going into this fight. Of course, when you're at this level and heavyweight champion of the world, you're expected to be fully focused on task, and I think Francis probably still is. The guy has he said himself he's achieved his goal, and now he's kind of looking to other avenues like boxing. So we'll see how that kind of affects the fight.
Yeah, and I mean, Gon with his extensive Muay Thai background is definitely gonna be interesting to see how he does against Francis's boxing style because I mean, Gon's experience in the clinch and just is a super technical fighter, and I mean, it would be interesting to see how that plays into effect against Francis because I mean, we saw him completely outclass Derek Lewis, who's another big puncher, and he didn't get hit once in that fight by an effective shot. So Gon is always either all the way out of range or all the way in range to the point where he's so close to the opponent where they can't do anything. He's just smothering him with his amazing clinch work from Muay Thai. So it's definitely gonna be an exciting fight.
Francis, I definitely believe his key will be kind of pressuring Gon and kind of forcing him to back up, which usually it's always been Gon forcing his opponents to back up with his pressure and his different variety of kicks and different techniques. But if Francis can do it like he's done, because usually Francis's opponents back up due to being pressured and frightened of his power, and that's where you could see a lot of his knockouts come, like the Rosenstrike knockout, where he blitzed him and killed him flat in like 20 seconds with a brutal barrage. And if that happens with Ciryl, that could be super dangerous. It's hard to avoid that since it's just
Yeah,
shots coming from everywhere and just
runs at
bombs.
you.
Yeah, so then for Gon, it's definitely going to be important to manage his range and maybe take the center of the octagon and not get pushed back too much and using his kicks to kind of poke at Francis Ngannou like he did against Derek Lewis and kind of try to take out his legs because when he takes out his legs, then also Francis's power will be reduced. Because I see if Gane definitely winning, it will definitely be, or not definitely, but I see it being a decision win. And then if Francis were to win, I for sure a knockout.
Obviously, we saw Francis Ngannou's much improved grappling skills against Stipe Miocic, where he was able to defend takedowns, get Stipe's back, land a couple of ground and pound shots, and he just overall did well in that fight. The grappling exchanges and the wrestling is definitely going to be interesting to see how that plays into effect, and Gon's wrestling as well. We don't really don't really know if he's going to be able to out grapple Francis, but it's definitely possible.
Gon also though has good some good submissions as we've seen in the UFC. He managed to get a leg lock and a few other submissions as well. So if he's able to take Francis down and maybe he's in the right position, he can definitely execute those different submissions. And of course, Francis has never been finished before, and to knock that guy out, a guy with a chin of steel, it's gonna be it probably won't happen, but maybe a submission could possibly happen.
And I
You
could
never
definitely see
know.
a submission, especially if Gon tires out Francis. He kind of gets Francis demotivated by not Francis not having any success being able to hit Gon. As we know, his style is really hit and not get hit. So if that kind of demotivates Francis, he starts to get tired. He starts to get gassed. Gon could have a lot of success on the ground and in the grappling exchanges, maybe possibly going for a submission later on in the fight. It's definitely going to be interesting to see if that experience gap between Francis having losses and and Gane never having experienced that, if that could play a role. But I mean, I feel like that could also play a role in terms of Gane's confidence that he thinks he's the best in the world. I mean, this guy's never lost, so that could play confidence, but it could also play into overconfidence maybe that he's able to do something that he might not be able to. So to get into our predictions, I mean, my prediction personally is that Ciryl Gane will win this by decision. I think it's just the most likely outcome, considering that Gane is just such a technical fighter, and we don't see him get hit often. And when we do, it's usually not by big shots because he's able to make every shot that lands on him just an insignificant shot. So, but it's definitely gonna be tough because you can never count Francis out, and it just one mistake from Gane could be lights out, could be over right in a blink of an eye. So you really never know. But in my opinion, I think Gane's going to be able to effectively use his range, effectively use his output and pace to overwhelm Francis and potentially get him in bad positions that we haven't seen Francis in quite a while. So I think Gane's going to get the job done. That's just my opinion.
Oh, I also agree with you. I see my prediction is Ciryl Gane beating Francis in a decision, probably unanimous decision, and I see it coming through kind of Gane just using his kicks like kind of against Lewis, even though I definitely think Francis is a tougher opponent to Lewis, and I'll just be standing still and Francis will 100% try to explode on Gane, but if he's able to get past that and tire out, kind of just prod and poke him with those kicks, then I can see him definitely starting to tee off on him in the later rounds when Ngannou is tired and kind of control from there and take over from there. However, man, that power from Ngannou is so scary and so dangerous. It just takes one, and there's a 25 minutes for it to happen.
I think Gane might have his number personally, and it's you can never count them out. So we're gonna see who the baddest man on the planet is on Saturday on UFC 270, and I'm super excited for it.